Hey, why sell all that steel scrap for pennies when you can make big bucks making beautiful art out of your scrap steel? It doesn't take much to set up a little forge. I just built a table. I didn't buy a fancy anvil. I just bolted on different sized pipes, and I had an old pipe head to put down there to use as the main hammering surface. For my forge, I use bags of coal, a squirrel cage blower, and a little foot switch. Just part it all to set it up. I enjoyed it. I enjoy working with my hands, so this is just another great thing to do to make a little extra money on the side. These projects sell at craft shows, etc.
Okay, so what we're making here is the back arm piece for the base of the bottle of wine. We're just matching it up to the shape here on this finished one. Then after that, bend down, then we start the curve around back up, and I usually second my pipe over here. I have bolted on my workbench over here, and all you have to do is take the pliers and bend the piece around that curve shape and hammer it smooth, and then line it up and get everything symmetrical. So that's what we're working on at the moment now, is getting the shape the same on each side, getting it to look more like this. Because what I was doing there, I was over bending it with the pliers, and then I'll heat it again and flatten the curve. It's curved a little bit too much. I'll flatten the curvature out a little bit using the pipe as a guide with the hammer. It's the easiest way to do it. It's easier to start the curve with the pliers and then flatten it back out with the hammer than it is to get the curve started with the hammer.
What are you doing? You want to get some water? We just started blowing the water. Those like buckets.
To get it good and level, what I want to do is I want to heat it in the middle and then hammer it down flat against the anvil here, and so that the points, all pieces are exactly level onto the anvil. Now that all the pieces are formed, we're taking the chisel and we mark the center points on each of the pieces here.
Okay, here's the final piece. What I've done with it so far is I've wire brushed off the joints and wrapped it with the baling wire to hold it. We're going to heat it up in the fire and do some final straightening. We have a little bit of a bend. It's a little bit crooked. Let's do some final alignment and straightening. And then after that, we'll take a brazing rod and we'll heat these joints up and let the brass flow into the joints, and then this piece will be done. Well, except for the finish coating, the paint that we'll add to it.
You could cheat and do this the easy way and use a brazing torch, but with a little practice, it's not much more trouble to do it with the coal fire here. All we're doing is heating the metal up to just hot enough to melt the brass. You got to be careful you don't get it too hot. You'll melt the baling wire right off of there. It melts off really easy. A good deep orange color is about right. You'll be able to tell when the end of the brass rod starts to liquefy. It'll just liquefy and it'll ooze into the wire and the joint. And all you do is spread the rod around and try to get an even coat of brass all over. Sometimes I have just a couple of pieces of coal in just the right place to go ahead and kick the temperature up just a little bit. Okay, I'm all done. Did some final straightening after the even after brazing. You don't want to have to do a lot of that, because once you get the braze connections together, you really don't want to heat it up any more than you have to. Certainly not at the joints, because it'll weaken the braze and the connection. Anyway, we're all done. I'm just getting some regular scrap wood going from the tree branches there. I just want to get a good bright flame, and I'm going to put the piece in there just to burn off all the carbon and junk that's built up on there from the coal. Once I do that, I'll be ready to take it inside and wire brush it off again and finish it.
Here's a finished piece complete with the wine bottles. You can experiment with all kinds of different scrolls and taperings on the ends of the different pieces, as well as the finish coat and color. This one's green. For outdoor pieces, you might leave them unfinished and just let the natural rust take over. You can trim it out with leather. Here's the close-up of the brazed connection from the one we did. Here's a blacksmith weld on that one piece. When you're practiced up, you can learn to do the blacksmith welds pretty easily. Enjoy.